What's up, guys? Welcome to New Hartford, Connecticut, home to the Michael Sullivan shop, where he keeps the 22 SK Modified, which will be driven by Teddy Hodgdon come 2022. And before we get a tour of the shop, how long have you been housing cars here at your place?
Honestly, we've only had, this is the third season of having a car out of this shop. Dan Avery's, his car, and Glenn Reen's were both put together in the shop. I don't say built because we don't build race cars, we put them together. When we did a deal with Chase Dowling, the car came here, and it's just easier for me to work on it, and my son does most of the work. I can't really do too much.
The chassis itself, you have it completely stripped down and such. What's the history of this chassis?
Actually, when we were looking for a car for Chase Dowling, came across this car that Keith Rocco Racing was selling. It was actually, John Rafano bought this brand new, painted it, never assembled it, so we got it from John. We'll put a new body on it, new bars, you know. It's still got to be stripped down completely. It's gonna go over to Keith Rocco Racing, get a new front clip on it, have everything else checked while it's there. This is a lathe that I was given to me from by a good friend, an old school racer, Johnny Bergeni. Plainville Stadium, Riverside Park, Stafford. I mean, Johnny's top notch.
So I see some seats up there and such.
Oh, those are all go-kart seats as the kids grow, and every year the kids grow, you got to come up with new seats. Actually, the one in the middle is some they're Chapman's. Yeah, some there. I'll return it one day. He told me to return it. I didn't sell it. It's still sitting on the shelf. I haven't used it in 5 years, but I'll get it back to him one day. I bought the big toolbox when I built my house because I figured I wouldn't need any other toolboxes, and I put 3 toolboxes into it and filled it up, and I needed more. The one in the middle was my toolbox from when I worked at M&T. That was all my racing equipment at M&T in there.
This was a kart chassis up here?
That is a Wild Thing, which it's like a Tiger A, Tiger B, Tiger C chassis. Both my kids raced, won a lot of races in it. And I actually bought that car from Keith Rocco's uncle, Bruce Sperry, who bought it from somebody else from Sugar Hill. I mean, that car's been around forever.
Yeah.
There's a surface grinder up against the wall. That's for, basically, race car guys, all we use that for is brake shims, shim washers for brake calipers. We'll machine them down on that. They call them tall boy stands. They were actually originally made and designed for me because I'm too fat to get under the car on a creeper. So I had to make them really tall for me. And they said they couldn't call them fat boys, so they call them tall boy. But I had them, they made that. There's the rack that holds them to the wall. Amongst all my other crap right here, I have their scales, I have their chassis height measuring system, 6-foot brake for sheet metal. We have a 4-foot brake, finger brake for sheet metal. We have a jump shear for the sheet metal, a bead roller for sheet metal. I love doing sheet metal.
I can tell, yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. The wiring and sheet metal, I love both of those.
Mystique had 2 different colored cars. They had the red one originally, and then they had the blue one.
Well, the original Mystique car is actually, I know it's white. I think it's white and orange. Steve Chwanski drove it. It was the number 57.
Right.
That's the original Mystique car. This roof panel, the red and silver one, is from, we ran it in 2000 and 2001. 2000 we won a bunch of races. 2001 we came back. We had 15 wins at Thompson that year and 9 at Stafford, something like that. Right after that is when we went to the blue and silver. I think it was 02 we went to blue and silver on the cars.
So here we are on the side of the shop, and you got Tony Stewart door panels because you guys got to work with Tony Stewart a couple times.
Yeah, neat guy. We raced Thompson with Tony Stewart. We went there. It was a match race, and Stewart went out and had so much fun. He said, screw this thing, we're driving this thing. And he started dead last, and he wiped up the field with that car. Everybody said we were cheating. We weren't cheating. Even Ted said, that guy just showed me a line that I forgot was even there. How about that number 6 right there? I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, yeah.
Who was I was racing with Park. Park got the call from Earnhardt. He was gone over the winter. A couple of the guys are friends of mine on that car. And they called me up. They're like, hey, can you come work with us? So I went out there and we proceeded to win 2 championships in a row. And I used to bust their ass. I'm like, you guys couldn't win a championship till I came around. Obviously, I was just a jack man and helped on the car a little bit. You know? You couldn't win a race until I came around. I used to bust them all the time. This is one of my favorite quarter panels right here. It's hard to see, but they made me sign it. If you look back, you could see a little bit of orange paint pen on the back of the quarter panel.
Yep.
I believe it was Thompson. We're pitting the car. And Ted wanted to get out so bad that he kept revving the engine. The right side of the car was jacked up. There was no wheel on the back of the car, and he started letting the clutch out. Then he stalled it, so we got the tire on, pushed him away, and I was so pissed off at him, I kicked the side of the car, and it's hard to see, but my footprint is in the back of the car. big thing we got, I hope you can see it with your camera, we got a shitter right here if you need it.
Oh, it actually does say that. We really thank you for letting us check out the place. It's really cool seeing what you have in here, the historic panels and pieces that you have. I mean, you've been around this for decades, and you've done a lot. You've had a lot of success.
Yeah, I don't mind being old. It's, you know, a lot of people go, oh, don't make me sound old. I don't care. I'm 51 years old. I still feel like I'm 18, even though I move like I'm like 95.
You definitely got the energy of an 18-year-old, I can say that.
Sometimes. Just don't watch me walk up the stairs. I'll drop dead and need oxygen.
We make sure we don't catch that on film.
Yeah.
No, we seriously appreciate you having us here, and we wish you the best of luck come 2022.
Thank you very much. And I also have to say, this guy right here has done, even the guy behind the camera too, Kyle Ricky, this guy has done so much for our sport. Everybody out there knows it. And I hope this sticks in the video because we all appreciate it. I bust your balls probably more than anybody, but we appreciate it, man.
Well, that means a lot, and I appreciate it myself. It's fun being here, and doing stuff like this makes it all worth it. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see what's in store for Michael Sullivan, the 22 SK team with Teddy Hodgdon come 2022.